Hey guys, hopefully this will help you figure out how to use this yarn. So first thing you have to do is you have to make a knot. Okay, so you take your yarn, and I do it like this. Okay, so you got it like that. You have your little tail over here. Take the long piece that's hooked to the ball, wrap it around, and then grab the knot, and then pull that piece through the knot. So you have a slip knot. And then I'm just going to do like a string of like maybe 10 just to show you guys how to do this. So when you're using your fingers, you don't have a hook, so your finger is the hook. So your easiest way, because you want to control this piece of yarn a little bit, so if you can, hold it like this. Okay, so you have something to hold it with. So this piece of yarn that's hooked onto my finger, you put your thumb through there, so now you can pinch. So you grab this piece of yarn with those fingers and just pull it through. And now you have it hooked onto your finger again. That's one loop. So to get another for your chain, put both fingers through, grab that yarn, pull it through again. You're going to do that again. I'm going to do like 5. Okay, so if your stitches are going to be like 5 wide, you always want to put an extra one on there that compensates for when you turn for a row. So here's my extra one, that's number 6. So now, holding the yarn the same way, you want to look, okay, you don't want to go through this first hole that you already went through. Find your first other loop, put your finger through that, okay, and when you put it through, you grab this piece of yarn with it. So now you have 2 loops on your finger. Okay. So now put your thumb through that again. Grab that long piece of yarn that's hooked over here and pull them through. So now you have 1 loop again. So then to go to your next row, or your next stitch, I guess, you want to find your next one. And this first row is always tricky. So even if it looks a little sloppy, don't worry about it, because it just really doesn't matter in the end with this big fluffy yarn. So see, this is the one we had already went through. And this is going to be your next one. So put your finger through it. Grab it like a hook. Now you have 2 on your finger again. Put both fingers through those loops. Grab it. So now you only have 1 loop. So that's our second stitch. We got 5. So here's our third one. You go to your next loop. Put your finger through, hook that long piece of yarn. So now you have 2 loops on your finger. Put your thumb through it, grab, and pull that so you only have 1 again. That's our third stitch. Hopefully we're going to get 5 out of here. So find your next one, finger through, grab that yarn like a hook. Now you have 2 loops on your finger again. Put your thumb through that, grab it, back to 1 loop. Okay, so here's our 5th and our last loop. Go through there, hook that yarn, pull it through, and then grab these again. Okay, that was our 5th one. So now, since we're going to turn for a new row, remember you always have to put 1 extra chain on it for when you turn. So now that you're down to 1 loop and you're on your last stitch, put your thumb through there and just pull 1 more loop up. Now when you go to do your next row, just take your yarn, turn it, just like that. You're ready for your next row. So then you don't go through this one that's sitting up here. You go through this one. And when you go through, there's going to be 2 pieces of yarn you go through. Technically it makes like a, see the blue and the pink, those are the 2 that I'm going through. So I go through, hook that yarn with my finger. I got those 2 loops again. Put your thumb through both. Make a single loop. Go to your next stitch. And you should be able to find these pretty easy, especially once you get used to it. Here's number 2. Put both fingers through there. Pull it through. That's 2 stitches. Here's number 3. Go through. Hook that piece of yarn. Okay. Like I said, this first row is your hardest one because it's a little goofy looking, so it's hard to find your pieces sometimes. So here's my I don't know, I feel like I lost one somewhere, but maybe not. Okay, so, and this is right at the very end, so you can tell that. Pull that through, go back to a single loop again, and remember, we're turning to a new row, so we always put one extra stitch on there. And then you take this yarn and just turn it for the next row. Find your first stitch in there, put your finger through, pull that, and make sure to keep it kind of loose, otherwise your fingers won't fit through there. So if you pull it really tight, you're going to have a problem. I guess I'm down to 4. I lost a stitch somewhere. So here's my third one. And then your very end one is always kind of hard to find. Just make sure you're at the end over here, otherwise you won't find it. And even if you can't tell which pieces of yarn you go through, just find 2 of them and go through there. Okay, and since we're at the end, we make 1 extra stitch again. I recommend counting them. A phone call.